starts if I know it is. Ah, I'm starting. Yay. Okay. Hello, my dreamy friend. I want to, I've never done this before. I did one Substack live a while back, but I thought I would do one by myself. And what's on my heart, what's on my mind is there's so much heaviness going on whenever I take a peek at the news, current events, the war that Trump started in Iran. Wow. And I'm not a political girl. I don't usually talk about these kind of things, but I am really wanting to be a bridge and wanting to encourage other people to join me in being a bridge between dreams and what we can do in the waking world, but inspired by our dream state. So, in other words, what's the dreamer's way to survive and thrive during these incredibly trying, nightmarish times? So, one thing is, according to A Course in Miracles, is look at the crucifixion, but dwell not on it. And so I thought, let's look at the crucifixion for just a moment. I love me some Marianne Williamson, and one of the things she just posted today was about how Barack Obama had already signed a nuclear deal with Iran, and when Trump came into office, he promptly ripped it up and now has gone to war with the intent of creating a new deal. Um, didn't need to happen. So that's looking at the crucifixion, but let's dwell not on it because we need our energy to be high. If we are going to be of the solution, we need to not get embroiled. The world does not need another person to be despondent and in despair and just giving up. We need as many light beings work in that light switch as much as possible. So I thought I would read a passage from today's Luminous Humanness. And today is March 3rd. This is my very worn and tattered version of this book. Oh my goodness. So today is 3/3, March 3rd. And here's what it says. There's a reason. Oh, the message is third time's a charm. 3/3. There's a reason why important happenstances take place in threes. Today is the day of the sacred third, evoking the Holy Trinity, supporting the master healer to blossom from within. In dreams, when something shows up in threes or a recurring dream plays out 3 times, imagine a cosmic bullhorn blaring, alerting you to be aware, since this may signify that you are in the midst of a profound transformation. Perhaps today might be the day to expand your comfort zone, take risks, and try, TRI, wordplay for 3, new things. Affirmation: I am rewarded with exhilaration and healing mojo to turbocharge my day. Luminous Humanness, Blue Angel Publishing. Get your copy. All right. Just a little more on that sacred third. So I was at the IASD, the International Association for the Study of Dreams, their conference every year. They've got one coming up in Ashland, Oregon in June. And I remember somebody talking about how when you dream something in 3 times, it is a shamanic initiation, to consider that it is a threshold through which, if you choose, there can be great change for you. And so even if it's a nightmare, even if it's just crazy, crazy things in the world. So I'm asking you, what's been happening in threes for you lately? There's been a number of things for me. Let me see. Do I want to share this? Well, in my world, there's a lot of people that have been breaking up either a job or a significant other. So I can think of 3 circumstances, 3 significant people in my life that are going through that. And in every situation, once there is the letting go of that former form of the way things were, there is a rekindling and a reuniting in a new way. So, as painful as it is to break things down, even my friend Joey always says sometimes you just need to burn the whole house down so that you can rebuild it again from a brand new place. Okay, so I thought I would pull a hero's journey card for you. Again, Blue Angel Publishing. The artwork is from Rasuli. And so I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm going to shuffle them toward you. This is what the front looks like. But I want you to think of a question, something that has been painful on your heart, something that has been challenging. And I'm going to pull a card and let's see if this card can't give some insight into that. Sometimes a card just naturally falls out of the deck like that one did. Ooh, the Joker card. I call this one the Joker because the artwork in this one is so different than the rest of the cards. So this is card 10, attune to the call. Okay, let's see. I'm going to just read it for you. Card 10 from the guidebook. So this hero's journey dream oracle is divided into 12 stages of the hero's journey. And let me see. All right, so this is from stage 2, attune to the call. And stage 2 is it's the call to adventure. The message is tune in and turn on. And the inspirational quote is from Saul Luckman, and he says, I've been having dreams lately, drunken dreams, with their particular lucidity in which the experience trail, the high seas, seemed to call louder and louder, more and more insistently, with a voice that was at the same time music, a siren song that almost threatened me if I refused to obey its chaotic urgings. I think it's chaotic. That's Quixotic, quixotic. It's like Don Quixote. Okay, so here's the message. You are attuned to the sounds of your soul. And what was once a still small voice has become the loudest call you hear. You are mustering the courage to heed the call when it resonates throughout your entire body, and the situation or opportunity you will know when it is right for you. Foster gratitude as you do your inner work, so the sweet sound of higher ground can resound throughout your being. Make room in your life for grace, so the call of your highest destiny may be heard, honored, and acted upon. Dream symbol. Phone call. Dreams of a cell phone or talking on a phone signify communication issues. Have you ever had one of these? Receiving a call is about your ability to listen and hear. If you are trying to call someone and can't reach them, consider what is in the way. It will bring you a step closer to resolving the block because you are now aware of it. If you are successful in your connection, either speaking to or texting someone, you may be exploring your telepathic connection with this individual and or the part of yourself the caller represents. Additionally, explore the wordplay between cell phone and self-own. I love that. This dream might be a message to own your power in new and more profound ways. Mantra, when the universe calls, I pick up. Okay, so on that note, I'm just going to share a little bit of what came up for me last night in the middle of the night. I've been getting up at 3:33 a.m. a lot lately, and when I do, I get all the way out of bed. By the way, if you can't sleep, don't stay in bed ruminating. Get out of bed, make yourself some tea, grab your journal, and just write what thoughts are there. Because sometimes those thoughts that we have in the early morning, if we work them out, they can sometimes become touchstones to a greater insight. I know sometimes for me, what wakes me up is some form of stress or worry, but if I let myself get out of bed and write, I will find a solution. I don't necessarily find that solution while I'm just ruminating in bed, by the way. I don't know if that's true for you. But what came to me last night was I was feeling as I'm going to be, I'm jumping all over the place here, but I'm starting the 2.0 version of my Dreamifesting podcast starting tomorrow. And it will be on Instagram Live, it will be on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And I wish we could have it on Substack Live. I'm going to figure out how I can get that on. So stay tuned. But I was thinking about how it's important, how one of the things I'm going to talk about in the show tomorrow is my friend Kosar Abbasi. She's Iranian and she is exiled from Iran, her home, her place of birth, her where all her family lives, or most of her family, because she refused to stop dancing. I mean, against threat of violence and even death. So could you imagine being so willing that you would own your sovereignty against people? Not only would they not like you, not only might they talk behind your back, but they might kill you. And she still refused to dance. She still refused to dress the way she wanted to. And she ended up having to leave the country, and she's not allowed to come back in. And if she does, there's a very strong chance that she would be killed. And in LA, um, during the protests, when the Iranian woman Abbasi, not Abbasi, I'm sorry, that's Kosar's last name. The Iranian woman was killed because her hair was showing. Kosar was one of those ones that cut her hair in public. Anyway, so she is also one of those Iranian Americans that was dancing in the street the other day when the war broke out and when the supreme ruler of Iran was killed. And I asked her, every time I talk to Kosar, I always learn something about the Iranian culture. I learned something about many Iranians' perspective on American politics. And it always sheds a light because I admittedly live in a bubble. I'm in the new age mind, body, spirit world. I live literally on a hill in Topanga, California, where it's so quiet that the only racket I hear is the frogs at night and the birds in the day. And so I live in a bubble, admittedly. So I have a very strong opinion politically. I'm a very, die in the wool Democrat. And she happens to have different political leanings, and she's going to talk about why. And to me, my husband and I, even though we're both very, very, very much Democrats, it's been important for both of us to, as best as possible, maintain friendships with people on the other side of the political aisle so that we can understand each other, so that possibly there can be some change, possibly we can find some bridge, some coming together, and maybe not changing each other, but helping to soften each other's rigid places. So I'm going to talk to Kosar about her political beliefs and why, and she's got some really interesting perspectives on tomorrow. And then strangely, I'm going to follow with having Kosar on tomorrow. And this is at noon, by the way, live on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And my Instagram is Kelly S. Walden. Facebook is Kelly Sullivan Walden Dreams. And I think YouTube is Kelly Sullivan Walden. Anyway, I'm going to follow that with Christy Whitman, who channels a group called The Council. And she is friggin' brilliant. So I want to have some nitty gritty and some airy fairy, and I want to blend them together so that we can sort of become the nitty fairies or the gritty Aries, either way. But she's going to talk from a very spiritual perspective. She's going to channel these non-physical beings about their perspective on what's going on and how we can best line up with the energies to be of the solution and to not add to the problem. I believe that saying that, you can't just be on the default, like, you're either in the solution or you're part of the problem. You can't just hang out in the middle. If you're hanging out in the middle, then you're probably part of the problem. So, anyway, in the middle of the night last night, 3:33, I start downloading this bit about solution, and it has been coming up all over the place today. So here was the thought, and this isn't a brand new original thought. My friend Joey Sutton and I, who I have the Anatomy of Friendship podcast with, we've often talked about how if there is like the solution to any problem is to pour in more solution. So imagine an empty cup, an empty cup. And because it's empty, you're probably thirsty. And because you're thirsty, you probably start feeling desperate. And because you're starting to feel desperate, you probably feel insecure and you probably feel miserly. And it probably kicks in all manner of the worst elements of you. The solution isn't to develop better strategies for how to get other people to fill you up. It's about filling up your own cup with solution. And I thought this morning, oh, it's not just regular old solution, it's solution. It's filling up with soul. And this is why I'm such a big proponent of dreams, because dreams speak the language of soul. Whenever we pay attention to our dreams, by definition, we are shedding a light on our soul. And if we take that back a little bit, we could say, I don't mean to be too much of a Bible thumper here, but I think it's just God. It's the God that shows up uniquely through each of us individually. We could say that's the soul. And what is the difference between soul and spirit? I think words are the finger pointing to the moon. They're never that exactly, but I believe spirit is kind of the way God kind of connects to us in a more general, organic kind of way. And then the soul is where it becomes practical in our bodies. So all of those things are on a scale. Anyway, let's fill up with solution instead of just waking up in the morning and running straight to the news, running straight to social media, running straight to what fires do I need to put out today, literal or metaphoric. Let's fill ourselves up with solution. Let's take a breath. Maybe we can do that together now. And let's just allow the breath to do what it knows how to do best. It knows how to help us to shift and find our way into the center. Imagine a beautiful pinwheel of multiple colors. And at the center of it, at that still point, is you in your access to the soul, to the spirit, to the God, to the universe, to all the good things. And for every second we sit in this place and we just allow that pinwheel to flutter around us and alchemize the problems in the world, the problems in our own individual world. Every second we sit here, we're building up our solution. We're building up soul muscle, so that we can then emerge from that meditation, whether it's an eyes closed meditation or whether it be an eyes open, walking, moving meditation. But we bring solution to the streets. We bring it to the world, as opposed to looking for the world to fix us. That, I think, is the biggest error that we as humans, and I say we because that includes myself. Can you relate? We fall prey into thinking that someone, something, somewhere out there is going to fix it, is going to give me something I don't have, is going to validate me, is going to affirm me, is going to give me that security, that home sweet home, that all the things I want. No, it's not true. Another 3:33 morning, and isn't that funny? Today's the third day of the third month. Another 3:33 a.m. moment. This is what I wrote. It came out almost exactly this way. This world has nothing for you. Do not go to the world for what you want. Do not. This world will leave you feeling empty. Don't go to the world for what you need. Go to source. Go to source, that place of spirit, that space of soul, that space of God. There's an endless supply there. It's like an all you can eat 24/7 buffet. Go there. Fill up from there. And from there, bring that energy to the world. It doesn't mean that you're the only one that can do this. Everybody can do this, but I feel like we humans are either for getting or for giving. And when I'm filled up, then it just feels so good to give. I'm for giving. I can also forgive the lapses in consciousness of the people around me that might not have treated me in the best way or might not be treating each other in the best way. I can forgive them because I've got something to give because I'm full. Otherwise, if I'm empty and I'm going at people, places, and things, I'm a bit of a vampire, or maybe a lot of a vampire, forgetting. I'm all for getting, I'm all for grabbing, all for trying to get my needs met from the outside, looking for love in, sing it along with me, in all the wrong places. Yeah, let's not do that. Maybe just for 5 minutes, or maybe just for 1 minute. Let's just be for giving and release our tendency to be forgetting. But the only way we can really do that is first to fill up with solution. Okay. So I think that's all I got. Oh no, I got one more thing for you. So this Sunday is Joy Fest LA, and it's taking place at Primal Moves in, where is it taking place? Primal Moves in Venice, California. And I'm going to give you a coupon code to get half off if you want to go. It's $100 regular price. But if you go using my coupon code, which I'm going to tell you in a second, the coupon code is JOY, capital JOY 50, 50. Then you get half off. JOY 50. And how to get there is, the website is this. It's using an app called Luma, Luma, and you can just look up Joyfest LA, and that's it. Joyfest LA, March 8th, at 12 p.m. It starts at Primal Moves, and you can find out all about it at, I think you could just go to, let me see if there's an actual link. No, just go to Joyfest LA inside the Luma app. And the Luma app is, it's like a Evite kind of a thing, but it's the new fancy thing. All right. So that's coming up. And what else? Oh, I'm also excited to be a part of the Great Mother March. And that is happening also very soon. It's happening. Oh, is this going to still, let me see, is this going to still show? It is on the 20th and 21st. I might have just disconnected this. Let's see. Oh, I'm still on. Okay. So look up the Great Mother March. It's so if you're familiar with the monks that walked across the country, this was in place in a plan before the monks, but so it looks like it's riding on the coattails of those wonderful monks, and maybe it is spiritually speaking, but it's a bunch of people that are walking on behalf of calling in the Great Mother, which is basically another way of saying the great one within us that has compassion, that sees all the creatures on this planet as if they were ours, as if they were part of our own womb, whether you're a man or a woman. So I think we all need to evoke the Great Mother archetype within us. Okay. I think that's all I got for now. And I hope to see you tomorrow on my live Dreamifesting podcast. Oh my God, last thing. I'm also in the morning going to be live on UK Health Radio on the healing power of your dreams. And I will be interviewing Phil Webster. He's an actor who was in all manner of shows. He was uh, acted opposite Benedict Cumberbatch in what is that show with the telephone booth? Oh my God, that's a synchronicity right there. A friend of mine recently said that great men are like telephone booths, and she was saying hard to find, but hello, there's a telephone booth at the state park on my street, and this show takes place in a telephone booth. It was a very popular show in England. You probably know Doctor Who. There it is, Doctor Who. So, anyway, I'll be interviewing him alongside Teresa Chung. She is the prime host of The Healing Power of Your Dreams, and Mitchell, Margarita Mitchell Pollock. And we're also going to be talking to the fairy lady. I think her name is Katie K. Mm, Either way, join me on, you can just download the UK Health Radio app and you'll see me there. Whew, a lot going on. Thank you for joining me. And remember, you are the solution. So go forth and multiply that solution. And I look forward to seeing and speaking with you soon. Let me know as I do more of these, any topics you'd like me to talk about, any of your dreams you'd like me to reply to, and possibly decode through my jet set dreamifesting acronym. Okay. Sweet dreams, and may you dreamifest your very best.